today is going to be the very first episode of Wrestle Purist Divas. I'm joined by my 3 Divas locker room. The rest of the Divas roster.
The rest of
Wrestle Purist as well.
The women's division, yes.
Yes, we're already getting there. So my name is Isra, and we're just gonna go around at first and just like introduce ourselves and like give you guys a feel of like what you're gonna get tonight. So let's start with Alexia.
Hello, my name is Alexia. Obviously, I've done a couple of podcasts before. I'm pretty sure all of us have done podcasts, obviously, like for Wrestle Purist. But we're all really excited to finally be doing this after so long of us talking about it. Like, I'm just really excited to see what's coming for us, you know.
I love your costume. You like?
Thank you. I'm a little bunny. Okay, let's go next.
Hi guys, like Alexia said, like I've done podcasts before, so I'm sure like you guys know me. If you don't, I'm Anna. Nice to meet you all. Like I just gotta say, like I'm Brazilian, and Bolsonaro just lost the election, so fuck him. Go to hell. I'm so happy right now. Like yes, that's it. I'm sorry. I'm so happy to be doing this too because we've been talking about doing this for such a long time, and I feel like in the wrestling community we just need more women like saying and speaking, like saying your thoughts and everything. So like yes, I'm just so happy. This is amazing. Thank you for everyone who's watching, who's in the chat right now, and I just Alexia, Israel, Charlie, I love you all. This is amazing.
I'm so excited.
So I'm Charlie. I've done a couple of the Thursday pods at this point. And yeah, like the girl said, I'm just really excited that we're finally doing the Divas division of it and getting to talk about our perspectives on wrestling, how we got into it, and some other stuff. Yeah, I'm excited.
And I mean, I kind of introduced myself, but I'm Isra. Today I am living up to my name of Is Rollins.
Slay.
I got on my black weave. I got my step blazer on. I had to like do it up. It's Halloween.
Yes.
First ever WP Divas podcast. So yeah, I'm really excited. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna post my full Seth cosplay, so look out for that. But yeah, let's start with.
Before we get into it, like and subscribe, please. And if you want to send super chats, please feel free. We very much appreciate it.
Yeah, no, we all got families to feed. Like,
exactly.
And this is definitely not a conversation for people to bring no weird shit over here. We're trying to kind of redefine the space of kind of the women's space within like the internet wrestling community. So yeah, we just want to like amplify our voices and other like women wrestling fans and just like talk about what.
Oh, thank you.
The suplex.
Let's go suplex. Thank you.
Dropping by to show love. Jade Cargill's the GOAT. Also, what do you think? Who do y'all think is the most influential women's match in wrestling history?
Oh,
that's a good one.
That is a good question. You know, thank you, suplex.
Yeah, thank you. I would probably say like Manami Toyota and Akira Hokuto, like any of their matches. I just feel like they were so influential for the way that people see women's matches, and even like it was the first matches that Dave Meltzer actually like paid attention to in women's wrestling, and a lot of fans like pay attention to what he says. So it got a lot of eyes into women's wrestling. And I feel like it really influenced Joshi's style, which influences like other women's wrestling styles all over the world. So I feel like maybe those matches were the most influential ones. I don't know, like
yeah,
that's great
for me.
For me personally, the one that I think is like the most influential because I love both of them dearly was the Bayley and Sasha takeover match, which I feel like it's like it's just like it's such a classic. Like it's so good, it still holds up to this day, like even though it wasn't that long ago, like it's just kind of like for me it's just like the standard, like the bar, like, you know, it's like it's just so women.
That's my answer as well.
I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna give like a generic drone answer, but for me it had to be Lita versus Trish when they main evented Raw. Just because I want to say most people that's like within our age group got into wrestling through WWE. and have had to suffer being fans of women's wrestling under WWE. So to see them two have the very first main event on Raw, and for the match to be a banger the way it is, like even after all these years, like it still has a lot of replay value.
Yeah.
Like Lita basically like set the tone for like a lot of women's wrestlers today, like their style, the way they carry themselves and their energy. Both of them, to be honest. And for that to be the first time that the women got to main event a Raw, and then, you know, fast forward a decade and some change, and now like women are able to main event, you know, actual pay-per-views up till even WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I want to say that one was probably most influential in terms of, especially in terms of like North American women's wrestling. And I think that influenced a lot of like the modern women wrestlers today as well. So it's going to be my pick. And I watched it a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, this is still a banger, like to this day.
Yeah, it still holds up. I've watched it like
Lita damn near like killed herself.
Yeah, they were definitely pioneers for women's wrestling, especially like in America.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and we got another super chat, RJ Bagadyong. Okay, thank you so much for supporting for horsewomen of WrestlePeris. Thank you. Who's who? Honestly, if we're the fourth horsewomen, who's who? I want to be Charlotte because like the queen. Honestly. I just love. I know people don't like Charlotte, but like I love her. I'm sorry.
I love Charlotte. Who doesn't love
She's
Charlotte?
like
Charlotte.
Exactly.
No, let me talk to them. Let me
She's
talk
the
to
queen
them.
for a reason. Like I mean, come on.
I mean, if you're Charlotte, like her stats are very, very, very long. I want to be Sasha.
Yeah.
I want to be Sasha. I feel like Sasha's like, if anything, I thought we were all gonna fight over who's Sasha. But like, she's just a bad bitch, and like she carries herself. Like, I think like a lot of people are intimidated by her, and a lot of people don't like her attitude just because she's so herself. Yeah, and like she knows her worth. And a lot of people just want to like drag her down, but she's like, no, fuck that. Like, I'm the head bitch in charge. And she is. Yeah. So if anything, I would want to like aspire to be like that. So what about
I feel like I would be Bailey.
Yeah, I was gonna say Becky, so that worked perfectly. That was easy.
I love that.
We haven't actually talked about this before. That just worked out perfectly.
Without even meaning to, we all just kind of aligned on
Yes,
it's true. That is very
it's
true.
so sad that I'm not a blonde anymore, because when I was blonde, I was just like a Charlotte. I was channeling her all the time.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I'm still a blonde in spirit. It's fine. Oh, more super chats. Jade. Oh my
Jade.
God. Jade, a queen. Yes,
heart,
we have to have you on here. Like, thank you so much for the super chat. The rest of Pure Divas division is superior. Like,
exactly.
Also, lots of support and love for Jade. You know, hopefully sending her lots of love. Good luck on her training. I think she's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to see her like blow up.
She's going to be main event in WrestleMania.
She's going to be, for real.
I mean, for real.
Get on the train now, because it's going to take off.
Yes.
I love that.
Alex.
$20. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alex.
This is what we wanted to see. Let's go. Thank you, Alex.
Friend of the pod. Make sure you're supporting Purist as well.
Yes. And Russell Wave. Shout out to Russell Wave, guys. Those are our besties for real.
All right, let's get started with. Okay. How do I even initiate this? Oh my god! Like I can't. I gotta put my hangman hat on.
Oh god!
Oh my god!
Okay, so we finally got the 4 horsewomen of WrestlePurist, which I love that tagline. I'm just gonna keep saying it. Yeah. So now that we got the 4 horsewomen together, we all individually talk about who we think is like quote unquote for the bad bitches, which wrestlers kind of are able to generate an audience of women and keep women compelled in their matches, their stories, so on and so forth. So I want to talk about what we mean by that when we say this wrestler is like for the bad bitches. Give these people an idea of basically like the whole concept. I think that'll be really interesting to talk about. Mm-hmm. So let's start with Alexia. Ooh. When you see a wrestler and you're like, this is for the bad bitches, or like, I'm gonna have to pass on that one. Like, what helps you come to that decision?
Well, for me, also like a big thing about like liking a wrestler is like their presentation, like how they carry themselves, how they like go on about like their gimmick or whatever. So it's just like if I see someone, whether it be like a women's wrestler or a men's wrestler, whatever, that I like, that's just like appealing to me. Like just like the confidence is like also what makes like for the bad bitches or not. Like if you see someone who's like carrying themselves, who knows like, hey, I am good, you know, I can do like I can have great matches. I can, you know, like do like compelling storylines and stuff. That's why I'm like, that is like for the bad bitches because they're sure of themselves, like how they carry themselves. That's pretty much what it is for me as well, you know. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anna?
For me, it's just like the energy. Like Alexis said, those wrestlers then know they're good, but they actually are, because there are some wrestlers like Sammy Guevara. I'm sorry, that think that like they act like they're for the bad bitches, but they're not. You know, it's like it's just like I feel like you have to be a wrestler. You have to know that you're good, and you have to know how to back it up. And also, like being hot doesn't like it helps. You know, doesn't. I'm sorry, but I just feel like it's the energy, the way that you portray yourself, the way that you carry yourself, and just being a good wrestler, being a nice person above everything. So just, I don't know, it's just an energy thing. Either you have it or you're not, or you don't have it. It's just that. Chris, thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
just
nothing to
think
say. He was just
I know,
stunning.
so speechless.
Just
That dog profile picture just
it just makes me laugh.
Yes.
Charlie?
So a lot of it for me, like the other said, it's like a lot about the presentation, how they carry themselves, but also their moveset. If they wrestle a style that like doesn't appeal to me, then like I don't really follow them that much. So like their moveset, how they present themselves, like how they talk in promos, like just how they carry themselves as a character, and also off screen, because you can have like the perfect character and be a dick in real life, and that just doesn't fly for me. So yeah.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Retrospectively. The bad bitches, and he was a piece of shit. Yeah. I don't know about that.
In like retrospectively, yes. But like with like people being so online these days, you can kind of pick it up a bit more than like the old sort of wrestling.
Yeah. You're right. Because now that I think about it, if Shawn was to be like a part of this generation, a lot of his antics, I don't think people would really, it might put a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Within like the wrestling fan base. When I talk about like who's for the bad bitches and who's not, it's like which wrestlers can generate a female audience maybe outside of the wrestling bubble. Like if a woman on the street sees a billboard of, you know, a wrestling card, like is the presentation, do these wrestlers look like they could generate an audience of women and get them to care about them? Because when we think about that, it's like we have Roman Reigns, we have
Roman Reigns.
We have Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
It's like,
we had at some point it was the Shield, because all three of them were just like
just the whole presentation.
The Shield for me, like the Shield for me, like they created a whole generation of bad bitches. Like I'm a wrestling fan because of the Shield. So like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, and I mean, nowadays I think the reason why I think more women within like the general public were fans of wrestling in the late 90s and early 2000s is kind of like the attitude of the wrestlers. Because I mean, DX had women pulling their boobs out for them at shows. They were literally like, they kind of were just like the personalities. It was mostly that they kind of drew the women in, and they were attractive and they were exciting in the ring. I'm gonna unfortunately quote the bane of my existence, CM Punk. He said at one point that in a conversation that he had with Eddie Guerrero, that Eddie told him, if you hear a lot of women in the crowd, make your moves more exciting. Try to be more quirky and more funny and a lot more entertaining. And if you hear like more of a masculine sound in the crowd, more men, then you can be more serious, more tough. He knew the psychology of what gets women engaged with wrestling and what kind of disengages women from wrestling, and how to engage men instead, based on what you hear in the audience. And I think nowadays, a lot of these wrestlers think that talent is enough. And while talent is the most important factor, you need to definitely consider what the individuals in the crowd want to see.
Yeah.
So, if you think of someone that might cater to women more, you might think of someone like Ricky Starks, for example, because he's a lot more flamboyant, he's a lot more extra with his character and how he carries himself, versus someone like Wheeler Yuta, who's, me and Alexia might have to be at odds tonight, but I'm so sorry.
That's a debate.
He's kind of like a wrestler's wrestler, and
he's a wrestler's wrestler,
and definitely like I think the men that are more into the technical style are going to be more into that, and that's not to say that women don't like technical wrestling, because Daniel Bryan has a lot of fans, men and women. But in terms of kind of like how to draw a crowd of women, I think that the wrestlers' presentations and their ability to adapt to a more female audience, I think that kind of like pushes like who is for the bad bitches, because there's wrestlers that do that on a consistent basis. Like they understand the audience, they understand who they're catering to, and other wrestlers think that, well, my moveset is enough, my presentation is enough, and it's not. Like you need to definitely learn how to adapt. So that's my little rant on that.
No, absolutely. Like, I feel like so many wrestlers, like I'm sorry, Charlie. I feel like so many wrestlers don't care about the presentation. They just wear like black trunks and that's it. And, like, no, you have to care about your gear. Yes, gear is like a huge part. You have to care about it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it shows your personality. It shows like why you're different and how you're different. So it's something you have to think of. And I feel like a lot of wrestlers think, oh no, I'm just gonna wear black trunks and it's fine. Like, the person who can wear black trunks is like Bryan Danielson, because he's the fucking best in the world. He can do that. He can get away with that. But like a lot of wrestlers, no, you just have to think about everything related to your character. So like, gear is an important part of that.
I think that's why a lot of like luchadors get a lot of fans, because their gear's always so cool and they care a lot about their presentation, and their moveset really caters to, like, as you said, like when the women get a lot more engaged when you're like flying around the rings. So they really cater to the female fan base, whether it's intentional or not. It's just kind of how it plays out.
And they always say in Hollywood and in like entertainment industry, they always say like sex sells, but they're always talking about women in that regard, and never really the men. And I feel like if men, I'm not saying like sexualize wrestlers, because that's the complete opposite of what I want to happen, but I mean in terms of like, it's the aura, man. It's how it's like, it's the
attitude.
It's like
literally all the
Shawn
attitude.
Michaels was a good example. Eddie Guerrero as well. Like people like that, they just had so much flair about them, and like people just love them.
It's like
and
something that just draws you to them, like which I feel like a lot of wrestlers like that aren't missing kind of like these days. Like they're good, but like they don't know how to play into that. Like especially like if you see someone, obviously like let's say you show a woman who is not interested in any wrestling, you show her like a match, let's say just a Roman Reigns segment, they're immediately going to want to be paying attention, because they know, like, first of all, he's an attractive man, obviously, but it's also because he like knows, like he leans into it, like he knows.
Did she freeze up?
We've lost her.
Damn it.
Okay,
we're gonna have to work on getting Alexia. You good?
Oh, no, she's back.
Okay.
I'm good. My computer just like crashed.
We got a super chat from Rob. And it's only been 17 minutes. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
Watching Purist as well, guys.
Yes.
Support all the shows on the channel.
The custodian. Brian Moon Jr., thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That makes me laugh so much.
I know. Every time I see it, like that photo is just...
Thank you. So we got another super chat. I don't think Monty put on the screen, but it was Lizzie. She asked if you could pick a wrestler from AEW, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Yes, that's the one. Who's most for the baddies? Who would it be? So I thought maybe we can choose like one from each one of those four, because let's think about it. Also loving the show already. Thank you so much, Lizzie.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Okay, let's go first. Like AEW, who's the most like bad bitch wrestler in AEW for you guys? For me, it's Hangman Adam Page. I'm sorry, like he's just like the bad bitches wrestler.
Yeah, I love Hangman. The wrestler.
Yeah.
The
not backup Adam.
Yeah, not backup. The
Not
actual
backup.
Hangman
Adam
Page.
The original Hangman.
The OG.
Yeah.
Hmm.
In AEW, Daniel Garcia's one that jumps to
Yeah.
mind.
Yes, Daniel.
I was gonna give it to Daniel also because there are times when he reminds me of a young, smaller Randy Orton.
Small.
I know exactly what you
Small.
mean.
He got to build
The
his
way he
confidence.
carries
But let me
himself.
tell you, in terms of like, you know, kind of how he carries himself, like he kind of like gets it in that regard of like, you know, his outfits and like his cadence and the way that he carries himself and everything. I think as he continues to mature and grow and kind of like get some more main event shine and stuff like that, I think that I think it would be him. Also Wardlow, I'm gonna sneak him in there because come on,
It's
Wardlow on the damn cover of everything. Like,
just look at all the attention he's like been getting online, like doing like the fashion walks and that. Like the women love him, and it's not hard to see why.
Yeah,
And
but in my opinion, I'm sorry.
Swerve.
Yeah.
Oh, Swerve. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Need to elaborate.
No need to elaborate. Just
Swerve.
Yeah.
So for Raw,
I don't watch a lot of WWE anymore, so it's
This is a good exercise. You can think of like, okay, which wrestler from Raw will make me watch Raw?
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, like
Yeah, that's
yes.
Seth is a big one.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, it's literally
like
Seth.
It's like all over
Seth.
Except
Yes,
Rollins.
it's Seth. It's literally
It's like,
Seth Rollins.
I'm trying to run through who
The
else
only
I know's on Raw, but no one else is like standing out as much as Seth.
It's just Seth.
It's just Seth.
I'm sorry.
My thing with Seth is like he's been doing like the outfits, and I think they've improved a lot. But I feel like he could like maybe make his outfits less of a joke and like present it more like he's actually taking his fashion seriously in a way, because then women will be engaged with like, I mean, I think women already are, like I'm amused by them. But I feel like he could make it more sexy. Like recently he wore that like something like this, like a cropped blazer.
But it was like the fluorescent one, yeah.
It was the green one and it was cropped and he had no shirt under. And I'm just like,
yeah,
this should just be your outfit wardrobe, like entirely.
Yeah. I like that one.
And he goes out of his way to make himself look kind of ugly sometimes with like his faces and his laughing. And it's like, bro, you're fine. Just look fine and leave it at that.
Yeah.
But he's always so committed to his characters. But yeah, I'm happy we could agree on that.
Let's see.
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
You are welcome to your opinion.
Oh, we.
Let's leave it at that.
Oh, we.
Okay, SmackDown, Roman
Who's
Reigns.
even
That's
on
it.
Roman.
Oh yeah, Romans.
I'm gonna say LDS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when they're on screen, I don't care. Like I just hear white noise everywhere else. Like
I was gonna say.
All four of them, including Zelina, honestly. I think including Zelina honestly just makes them look hotter, just because all four of them are hot that you just can't look at them and be like, oh, just that one.
Yeah.
No, you get a little bit of like, you know?
That's quite rare for a group. Like it's quite rare for the whole group to like have that aura. So that's really impressive.
Yeah. I think their presentation should be kind of like amplified, because if they just like let them cook, just let them go off, I think they could be like a fan favorite among the women.
Yeah,
like easily.
Absolutely. Santos Escobar, he just has like that aura, you know?
Yeah.
He's him. He's him.
Yeah.
What I've seen, they're pretty good with their presentation. They just need to amp it up. Let them be fully just.
I thought about someone else for Raw, like Kevin Owens for me. Like, yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love Kevin Owens, to be fair. I really like Kevin Owens.
Throwing it out there, you know.
Honestly, a lot of women love them at DILF. So
yeah.
You hear a man talking about like, I'm just here to feed my family, like I'm just here so I can take care of my kids. So because he kind of like brings that up a lot, and I think that kind of makes him a little hotter.
I mean, yeah,
family man.
the beard
He does it in
getting
a good way.
well, like,
Yeah, unlike someone.
Unlike someone.
Anywho. No, okay, so for NXT.
Oh, I know my answer.
I have someone in mind. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know his name, and that's so bad. But like one of the Creed brothers.
Julius, the one that
Julius.
We all knew.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo
Wesley,
Hayes.
Carmelo Wesley, like
Yeah.
Yes. Carmelo,
I think Carmelo kind of solidified his spot as like being for bitches to watch. Basically, I think he knows this, which I hate. I hate when people know that they're fine and they know women like them because it's like, I'm
Carmelo. He has the energy. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch much NXT.
No, me neither.
I would really have to like. The thing is, NXT was all the way at the end, so I had time to think about it, and I'm still drawing a blank. But you know what? I see it for what's it? I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Nathan Rollins.
Oh yeah, Nathan.
What's his last name?
Fraser.
Yeah, we're all experts on wrestling over at the.
Yeah.
We're
wrestling guys. We do.
Yeah.
This is a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, no, I agree. His moveset is top-notch. Nathan Rollins.
Yeah, he's really exciting and he's cutesy. I don't think he knows that like potentially he could kind of like tap into that market. But that's what we're here for. Gotta bully these wrestlers into giving us what we want.
Yeah, take notes.
Exactly. Look, I love Pretty Deadly. I love their style, like the crop tops with the tits out. I think it's like
True. No, I like Pretty Deadly's look. That's not all I can say about them. I don't watch NXT that much, so I don't know how well they are in the ring and stuff.
They're really good. Good. I'm gonna give that to them. Yeah.
I saw someone say that they had Young Bucks vibes, like early Young Bucks vibes, and I was just like, yeah, I can kind of see it with like how they present themselves, but definitely not how they wrestle. I don't think.
I don't think. Yeah. Dragunov as well. Dragunov for me.
Yes.
Like,
I love Ilya Dragunov.
Mm-hmm. He's like one of those cases that the energy is just like he has the bad bitch energy. Like,
just like dropped my snack because I'm about to take a bite out of it.
Did we want to do anyone from like the indies? I know that wasn't in the question, but I know me and Alexia definitely watch a fair lot of indies.
Go on.
So you know what my answer is going to be. Is yours the same? I don't know.
I think so.
Titus Alexander.
Yeah, definitely him. I was recently watching a podcast. Was it with him in it?
Yeah.
And it's just like I feel like he also has like a lot of potential. Like he's a really good wrestler. Like he's really talented. That's someone who I actually would like to see him sign like within the next like 1 or 2 years. But it's just also like I feel like I don't know how to explain it. Like it's just he's just like really good. Like he can actually play into that as well. Like Isra said, like, you know, I feel like he doesn't know he can target into that. But that's what we're here for, I guess. You know?
Yeah. He's like, for how young he is, because he's only like 22, he's like really nailed his presentation already. Like the way he carries himself and the way he acts like a heel. It's like he's like really nailing it down already. 100% recommend him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Monty's in the comments saying that I don't watch no bingo hall wrestling. First of all, Monty, I'm very busy. If I would watch it.
Monty, stop being a bully.
Well, okay, so years ago, I did used to keep up with bingo hall stuff because it was really hard for me to find like Muslim or Middle Eastern or any kind of like adjacent wrestler. So like I was like trying to look online. I'm like, who who's out there that I can like support, because I'm grasping at straws over here with WWE. Like Vince don't like Muslims, he don't like Arabs, he don't like brown people. So I had to really look, and that's how I got into Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
So he's a part of WWE now, but at one time he was a bingo hall guy, and he worked a show that I paid $5 to see back then. So
yes, Monty, take that.
Yeah. I put words in the women's mouths. We're here to tell our own stuff.
And also, like, I'm thinking, can we consider like Aussie Open? Like Aussie Open, can we consider them like indie?
I'm gonna Google what Aussie
they're with
Open
New
look
Japan
like.
now.
Hold on.
Girl, Aussie
This
Open,
is the
they're for
tactic
the
that
bad
we
bitches.
talk about on the timeline a lot.
All the time. They're for the bad bitches. Like,
Yeah.
Y'all say that. Let me.
you have to.
Finally figured out
you
how
have
to
to.
do it.
I know.
Hold
Is
on.
it Israel Proof?
Wait.
Wait.
I don't know why my laptop set Yahoo tonight. I googled Aussie Open and I'm getting tennis.
I was about to say,
You got wrestling at the end.
Wrestling. This is so funny. We're seeing Israel find out about Aussie Open live.
Oh, they're not
I wanna-
bad. I think I'll have to see them work.
They're
I
really
think like
good.
off rip, I only recognize Will Ospreay, and I feel like he's kind of a host scarer.
I think I like Will Ospreay.
Okay,
I
I'm not
like
gonna lie to
him.
you. Some of the shit Will Ospreay does when he wrestles is like when he does like the stiff, whatever you want to call it. It be having me feel away, kind of.
Girl, there was this one video when he did like the hidden blade, his finisher on this guy, and I was watching that like,
Interesting.
That like came out earlier
my
this
neck
year.
is right here, like.
that video was from earlier this year, and that's when a lot of opinions started to turn on Twitter about him because everyone hated him because of stuff from the past, and now everyone's just openly a Will Ospreay fan. Like they're finally admitting it. So
I mean, he's really good. Like Will Ospreay for me is like the kind of guy that you can hate him, and then you started watching his matches, and you're like, I get it.
he's
Like,
incredible wrestler. Like I tweeted
He's
about it the
unbelievable.
other day, but like watching his old matches from like 2016, 2017, and then seeing what he's doing now, his character has developed so much. And it's like really impressive, like how much he's like leaned into like that sort of thing. And like he put on loads of muscle, like he changed up his moveset. He's just like a top-notch wrestler.
No, he's unbelievable. This year for him has been crazy. All the matches that he had, it's just it's insane. Yeah.
All right.
So,
Who do we think? Let's take what Liz asked about like who we consider, the best out of like those four sections between AEW, SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. And let's switch it up and see what you guys think about who isn't at all, but has room for improvement and can be. Like, who do you think has the potential to be there, but they're really not?
That's a lot harder.
That is a
That
lot
is a
so
lot.
hard. Because
Or
like
you
I
just straight up
can
bury someone.
yeah, I can say like people that I know they're not, and I don't think they have room to be. I just think they're not. But
There's
people that
like
I
one really obvious answer.
Sammy Guevara, yeah.
Yeah.
I've just been burying him like this entire 30 minutes. I'm
As
sorry.
you should.
I mean, every chance that I get.
He's not for the bad bitches.
Mm,
I think someone that's like starting to show it more now that he's like not trapped in a group, because that's the wrong way to say it. I think Powerhouse Hobbs, he's like really starting to show the potential for it. And I think when he like really breaks out as a single star, he's gonna have like a lot more fans like paying attention to him, because he just carries himself really well and he's got like the right sort of move set for it. Like he's someone that I've like really became a fan of this year.
Yeah, I feel like he has the potential. I feel like it's just the booking. With the right booking, like if he wins the TNT title, he's there.
100%.
I'm looking at the roster in AEW, and it's a lot of wrestlers here that's for the hoes. Like, hold on. Christian? We forgot about Christian. We forgot about Andrade.
Right.
One of y'all said Hangman already, right?
Yeah.
John Moxley.
I mean, yeah.
Mom.
Kenny.
But we were all
the entire elite
so.
is huge for
The
me.
entire elite, yeah.
Yeah.
It's past Jeff Hardy's prime, but I think Jeff Hardy's had enough clout with women from his whole career for that to still hold weight. Koja Party.
He's still a draw, like, in terms of that, 100%.
Yeah. Hook.
Hook, yeah.
Hook, yes.
Stokely Hathaway.
Yeah.
Why are you
No, I agree.
laughing?
MJF,
I'm not just saying it was. Yeah,
like, okay,
cute. He's
Charlie,
adorable. I think he's adorable.
I know it's
Like,
against
personally.
Charlie's agenda, but like MJF for me, like,
MJF.
I'm sorry.
MJF grows on you.
He
Yes.
does. It's like
Yeah.
you don't want him to
Definitely.
grow on you, but that's literally what happened. Like,
He's
he
had, like,
I wasn't like I was
3
like,
good weeks in a
God.
row, and it's getting really bad for my agendas. But no, like,
I mean,
when he came back and, like, had really put on a bunch of muscle and, like, changed up, I don't know if he's changed up his move style, actually, I'm talking out.
How about me?
I like
Oh
saying
my
better
god.
with this one.
The custodian, Brian Pillman Jr., said, "How about me?"
I don't know what.
I can't even finish reading it. Limpio, cocino, me dejo pegar. I'm a catch. I cook, I clean.
I
I don't know about that part. I don't know about that. But
I don't
you
know what that last bit says. But...
me dejo pegar is Spanish for you can hit me.
Oh.
That's I was like, I don't know about that.
Brian
Thank you
Pillman
for the
Jr.
consideration, Brian Pillman Jr.
Thank you for the super chat. But like, if you're for the bad bitches, I don't think there's room for that. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, there's no.
I'm sorry. It's not for you.
That was. Someone just said in chat, Lee Moriarty as well. He's someone that definitely with the right presentation.
I feel like he already has, like, for me personally, like the presentation. He just at work. It's like everywhere we go, he
One
follows.
of our fans super chat.
Just obsessed, yeah.
At work, love y'all. WP Divas up next. Follow Hangy Fashion.
Don't follow Hangy Fashion.
Don't follow.
We love you too,
report
fam.
Hangy Fashion.
It's our biggest fan. Shout out to you.
Yes, defund Hangy Fashion.
Yeah, defund Hangy Fashion.
The bottom saying report Hangy Fashion.
Yeah. Okay.
The whole chat is. Hold on. Let me pause for a second. The whole chat is slandering Seth Rollins for no reason.
Yeah.
And I recall all 4 of us on the panel saying that he's for the bad bitches when he got brought up. So none of that slander matters. So
Ayo's comment. Oh man, this is criminal. Hangy Fashion better than Seth Rollins. Sadly, this is
crazy.
I think we should bury Sammy Guevara some more, actually.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a great idea, honestly.
That is
that
is true.
We get the audience. He traumatized us.
Yeah, I could not, like, whenever he, like, turned the camera on and he was having, like, an old man difficult learning how to turn off and switch the camera. I was traumatized. Like, I was fighting for my life. Like, I was literally just like.
Yeah, that was an experience.
my fan said, Isra look like a news reporter. This is amazing. Actually, I'm supposed to be sad, but thank you. I guess, fan. Back to Sammy Guevara being a host scare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the bird in English, but he looks like a bird. The bird that has like the weird hair. You know what bird I'm talking about?
I can picture what bird you mean.
You know what bird
I can
I'm talking
see
about?
it.
Are
Yeah.
you talking to?
You know the bird that I mean.
Seth Rollins studies the Young Bucks. Monty. That's
not on my show.
Actually,
Uh-uh.
We're not here for the elite slander, specifically the Young Bucks. Anyways, back to Sammy Guevara.
Monty said Israel looks like the Sasha Banks pic she always sends in group chats.
The one where she's like,
Yeah.
that was at the Rosa Parks. I don't know if it was a memorial or whatever it was that her and I think Titus went to when they were like by the Rosa Parks statue and everything, and Sasha was like dead serious and all the pictures. Like she don't realize she looks like a meme.
That's incredible.
I love
Monty,
it.
if you have the pic, can you put it up?
Yeah, Monty, please.
Please.
Thank you, Hank Fanny McMahon, for starting the WP Women's Division. No, we're not giving you credit for that.
No.
No.
We started.
Speaking of Sasha,
Mm-hmm.
let's segue. We can go back to like we'll make like the theme, like we'll talk about which wrestlers are and aren't for the bad bitches, but I want to segue real quick and talk about Sasha,
Yes.
the mother of all mothers.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
where do you guys think she's gonna end up?
Ooh. I
Honestly,
do
like-
think she'll go back to WWE
Yeah.
on the right conditions.
Yeah, I feel like she isn't going to get any less than she asked for, as she should, because, obviously she's a very important woman in like the wrestling industry. So I feel like no matter where she ends up going, like it's going to be a win for, her fans who support her and like want her to succeed,
Yeah.
Mhm. I just want to see her wrestle in Japan, at least like one time in her life.
Yeah.
Because I know that she wants that so bad, so I want that for her. And also, like, as a fan, I really need to see that. Because I just know because Sasha, for me, honestly, I think she's the best American women's wrestler ever. I just think like she's the best. She's number one. And the thing is, I don't feel like everyone knows she's the best and everyone knows she's good, but I feel like she hasn't been able to tap to her full potential yet. Like I feel like she can be even better, which is crazy, but I just know like she can be one of the best of all time, and for me, she already is. But like, so I feel like she going on Japan, like having the tour, it's gonna just show people who don't believe in her, people who still like don't realize she's one of the best of all time. That she is. So I just need to see that. But I think she's going back to WWE, but hopefully with some sort of agreement, because we saw the Shinsuke Nakamura thing, like he's gonna wrestle in Japan, which is insane. If we think about WWE in the past years, that's like crazy to think about. So maybe if she got an agreement that she can go to Japan, like I would love that.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's constantly teasing doing things with the Japanese, with the Joshis. And I think it low-key kills her that, and I don't want to put words in her mouth. I do not know this woman, but she's always putting everyone else in like their best position. Like all these other women, their best matches are with Sasha.
Yes.
Every match she's in, oh my God, I'm like messing up, but like she's basically a cheat code. Like every match she's in, it's going to be a banger because she's in it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of not fair to her. Like, I think that she needs to have talent that's on her level or possibly better to elevate her and make her better, because you can't always be the star player on your team. You know what I mean? Like she needs to be challenged. And I think she wants that too. Like you can tell, like she's been dying.
Yeah.
So for her to be gone this long, it kind of tells me that either she's considering going to Japan or she's trying to get WWE to allow her to be able to wrestle in Japan.
Yeah.
We got a super chat from my brother AO. He said, what are y'all favorite Sammy Guevara matches? Astaghfirullah. Love y'all. Thank you, AO, for the super chat.
Thank you,
I
AO.
love you too.
Ayo, I would just pretend I didn't see the super chat, but thank you, Ayo.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I actually don't know.
Maybe the Brian match because of Brian and just Brian alone.
Thank you, Poo Poo Kaka.
Thank you, Pupu Kaka.
That makes me laugh every time.
I know, every time I see it. Okay.
Oh.
That question went away. Okay.
Question for Charlie: is your hair green because of Shotzi? Your hair's cool, by the way. Thank you, but it is not green because of Shotzi. It was green for Aussie Open, and I just really
what's that
liked
about?
the colour, so it stayed.
What's that about? What were they doing?
That was when they were doing their UK tour, so I was like, yeah, I'll dye my hair green. I had the hair dye
Colors are
anyway,
like green. Yeah.
Yeah, green is like their focal point for United Empire.
Okay.
Period.
And it looks amazing.
Monty, put the recent comment in from FAR5222. So they said Becky's best match was in Hell in a Cell with Sasha. Bailey's best match was with Sasha at the first touring takeover. Charlotte's best match was the Raw in 2016 against Sasha.
Mhm.
I think we could go on all day. Like I think all the women's best matches was with Sasha, maybe with the exception of Bianca, because I feel like that one is debatable. Like her best opponents, in my opinion, were like Sasha and also Becky.
Yeah.
So it could be either or for that, but Bianca's just another woman wrestler that's just different. So that's why her and Sasha was so special, because you got to have like, I hate to use this reference, but like The Rock and Austin of the women wrestlers today, which is why that match was so special. And I wish it went on longer. Like I wish we would have gotten like maybe like a trilogy or something out of them. That would have been a lot of fun. Also, their match that they did at Crown Jewel with Becky was insane.
That was a very good match.
Yeah, Sasha's just her. Like honestly,
She's so
it's
special.
crazy. Like she's 30 years old and she's already like the best American women's wrestler of all time.
She's definitely like the ace of women's wrestling in America.
Yeah, by far. And also, she just has the it factor. Like,
she's
so
just, sorry, I just thought AO's. Charlie says Chelsea. That is not.
I'm not reading that one out loud.
Anna loves DMD. Ayo.
No.
You can get your money back. Like I don't need
to I'll take it.
No, this is.
None of it is factual. So Sammy,
this is a crime. Like you're ruining my character. Like I don't fuck with that.
Yeah, no, we're just not. Thanks, AO, for the super chat.
He said Anna loves DMD.
This is like I don't know how to say the word in English, but like this is character. Like you're destroying my character. This is information. Yeah, cannot do that.
Just spreading slander.
Ayo thinking of Alexia slander as we speak. What did I do? How did I get into this?
Just say fuck me.
Alexia, where?
That's actually it.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
That's incredible.
There it is.
Yes. Glasses.
I'm gonna give DMD her 10s because she absolutely shattered the ego of one of my ops today. I don't know if y'all were on the timeline today or not. I got just a glimpse. I didn't get to like fully like look into every single tweet and what's been really going on. But JD from New York got chewed up by the women roster in AEW. And it just gave me so much pleasure. It's like I was like in my like evil lair, like laughing. Like she told that man, we've been laughing at you for months. Like I know that man's gonna cry himself to sleep tonight.
Anna, do you want to read it?
Rob, you can take your money as well.
Like the vid and share the link on Twitter, please.
Like it, subscribe, share.
Grow
and make
as
sure
a platform.
You comment as well after the video.
Yes, leave comments. No, I'm here. Like I feel like some people think that my hatred for her is like it's a gimmick. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Period.
It's deep and personal.
The chat not free thinkers. Seth Rollins is him. Shout out Russell Pierce Women's Division. Thank you, Jamal, for the super chat.
Thank you, Jamal. Thank you for being real. We appreciate it. Yeah. On the note of Britt Baker, though, I've someone that's like been like vocal in not really liking her as a talent, but I've got to give her props for like she's always willing to lose. She'll make the other women look good where she can, and she's been having some good matches with these tag matches in that. Like, I feel like she kind of understands her.
I mean,
yeah.
Because like she's been carried. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
but yeah, it's like she's willing to play her role. I just wish she wasn't so close to the title scene still.
Yeah. Like I gotta say, like, okay, I feel bad, but I'm not excited at all for like her whole rivalry with Saraya. Like Saraya.
No, I'm not.
Either. I don't know. It's not hitting for me. I'm sorry. I wish I was more excited for that, because like now I finally feel like happy with the women's, not like 100%. I feel like there's a lot of space to get better still, but I'm feeling a lot happier with the women's division in AEW. But it has nothing to do with Saraya and Britt Baker. It's basically just Tony and the title pictures now really making me happy. Like the matches are fun, they're good, they're having a good time on the show. But yeah, I don't know where they're going, the whole Britt and Saraya thing, but it's not a match that I'm looking forward to, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I want to put up this comment from Lamora. They asked, what do y'all think of Thunder Rosa? Seems like a lot of people turned on her in recent months. That's actually a really good question. Start with Alexia. What do you think?
I didn't even get a chance to think about it. I feel like it's really like a messy situation, you know. Personally, I was a really big fan of like Thunder Rosa, just because it's kind of like cheesy and stuff, but it's like, hey, you know, me as like a Mexican woman, like growing up, like I always wanted to have like that small little representation on, like, I finally saw it in Thunder Rosa. I thought she was like, you know, pretty good. In like in terms of like wrestling and like her gears, like I've already talked about her presentation altogether, like how she would just like show off like our heritage, and I thought it was like really cool. But it's like, you know, she just kind of like dug her own grave, I guess. Not really grave, but like she just dug her own hole, and now it's just kind of like, it's kind of like an iffy situation, I guess, you know.
Yeah. And also, like, her whole like road to get the title, I feel like it was good, and people were thinking, oh, she's like this great wrestler, because people were comparing her to Britt Baker, so of course she was great. When, you know, when she got the title and the booking wasn't great, but the matches also didn't slide. Yeah, the matches weren't that good. And you can have like bad booking and still have good matches, but I feel like the matches weren't great, so it was kind of disappointing overall. And I know a lot of things weren't her fault, but like the matches, which was something that she could control, were also like bad. So and then the whole mess afterwards is just, she lost a lot of I don't want to say like respect, but like she, as a fan, I don't like her as much right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's gonna be when she comes back. I just hope Tony keeps being the champion, because I feel like she's a better champion overall. The matches are better, and the way that she carries herself, I just like her much more as a champion.
Yeah, the way Thunder Rosa won the title, they should have never have done the match originally at Revolution, because it was just stupid to have that, then have her win like an eliminator match like a week later just to put the title on her in her hometown. Like, Britt Baker also had stuff going on with Mercedes Martinez at the time, I think. So they could have just done that as the Revolution match and saved Thunder Rosa's for the cage match at St. Patrick's Day Slam, or whatever they call that show. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like she's done some cool stuff in AEW, but her title reign just wasn't really for me. Like, I don't want her to unify the belts. I'd like them to keep them on Toni Storm. But yeah, I just hope things can get settled and she can go back to just having good storylines in AEW. Tony clears.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the backstage politics of AEW is just like so gross. Like, at this point, I don't want to hear anymore. Like, and mind you, I like drama, but it's like it's every single day someone has a problem with someone. I think Tony Khan needs to start like spanking them around and tell them like, y'all are here to do a job. Like, enough of this like petty high school shit backstage. Like, who has time for that? Especially since AEW is still growing and developing. Like, you want to, I'm not saying everyone has to be friends with each other, but it's like, just like put that shit to the side and like learn how to fucking work together.
Yeah.
At the very least, like if you don't like each other, like it doesn't need to spill into the media, because now it kind of like reflects on the company. And then you have WWE fans. And mind you, I'm a fan of both companies. Yeah. But then you'll have like WWE fans saying like, well, this is going to be the end of AEW. Like, it just makes the whole company look bad.
Yeah. And like talking about like even going back to Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, like it was made public that they don't like each other, but they were still able to put that aside and put on like a good match in like the cage match and the Revolution match. They were still able to put together a story on TV because they were cordial with each other. Like they didn't like each other, but they were professional.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just love how Israel started talking about like backstage politics in AEW, and Charlie pull up like the Pepsi bottle, and like
just rip it in the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's been enough of the politics.
Team Hangman.
I mean,
Hangman
Hangman is not here. I don't want to hear the name CM Punk, so like just no.
Pepsi
this is for the other podcast, not for the Divas.
Yep. I mean, CM Punk, in my opinion, was never for women. And of course, like he did have female fans, but I always felt like he just kind of catered to, I don't know,
the hardcores, like that's what, especially in his AEW run.
I know what word you're thinking of, but
yeah. That's why I was like, just try and get
the hardcores, yes.
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on. Israel, what's next?
So we got to get into the PWI top 50, top 150. Oh my God, I have a typo. Women wrestlers list. Obviously, I'm not going to go through every single one. But before we get into the specifics, like, do you guys have any like immediate thoughts about the list? Like, what did you think of it? Did you think, it was accurate? What did you not like about it?
I actually like the top 10 a lot. I think it was one of my favorite top 10s that they ever had in the women's list. I thought it was really fair. Maybe I would change like some positions around, but the top 10 as a whole, I think was like good. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was a good, a solid list. Yeah,
I agree. Like, there's some women on there that I don't know loads about, but from what I've seen on the timeline and what people have said about them, they definitely deserve their spots in the top 10. So,
I don't know. I feel like these lists, when I look at this, because I don't know every single woman on this list, like when I see the top 10 or the top 20 even, it makes me interested in watching their matches.
Yes.
It makes me think like, okay, well, they made an impact this year. I might not know this woman, but clearly she has some kind of clout. Clearly she's had like a hell of a year for her to even make the top 10. So it kind of makes me more interested in like visiting what they've accomplished or like their highlights of their matches from the past year and like so on and so forth. And I don't know, I don't like get in my feelings about these lists because it's like, who even are the people that put together these lists? Like, I will never understand getting mad about these because it's like, I don't know. At the end of the day, like, it is what it is for me. Like, I don't know some of these women, but bottom line is like, it makes me more interested in wanting to see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like that should be the feeling. And the whole like thing with this list, we're gonna get into the list in a second. Like the whole thing with this list that a lot of people were mad about or trying to pick fights on Twitter about was like, oh, who is this person? Who even is this person? And being mad over the fact that they don't know, instead of trying to know who the person is and thinking, oh, maybe this person is in this position because this person is good and like they deserve to be in this position. Like, no, they didn't think about it, and they just wanted to complain of the person being in that position, even if they didn't know who the person was. So that for me was like, kind of just Google, it's free, just look for a match. If you watch one match, you will understand that. I guarantee. So I have a lot to say because this was a great list for me as a Stardom fan, as a Joshi fan. I loved it, so I have a lot to say. Let's get into the list. Yes, I'm excited.
Okay, so actually, let's just get started with number 1. Deserved?
Yes.
So I do not know how to, and I go off because I don't know how to pronounce her name. So give her the introduction.
Okay, Shuri, she's the current red belt champion, World of Stardom champion, which is like the main title in Stardom. And God, I was so happy. She's the first Joshi to be number 1 in the list, and it's so fucking deserved. She had an amazing year. If you got the evaluation period, it was when she beat Utami Hayashita in the rematch for the red belt, which was like, come on, the rematch from their classic draw match, which was unbelievable. The rematch was amazing, and her entire title reign, all the matches have been amazing. She's been such a consistent champion, and she's just unbelievable. She didn't have like a single bad match. All the matches are great. You can get any match of her in this period and it's going to be amazing. She just carries herself as a champion. She just has that energy. She's been having great storylines and Stardom and everything. So for me, it's just so fucking deserved. Because a lot of people had the whole thing with, oh, how is Bianca number 2? But when you get like, Bianca had amazing moments. Bianca like absolutely deserved to be top 3. I don't deny that. And last year she was number 1. Yes,
Deserved.
please. I agree, deserved. But like, if you compare the matches, Bianca had like some great matches, like the Becky match at WrestleMania, at SummerSlam. But the other matches in between weren't all that. You know, she was on Raw and she was having like random matches. Every Shuri match has been amazing, has been a banger. So it's just absolutely deserved. And I think it's way past time that a Joshi got this spot. And Stardom is growing so much this year, especially. They're having like such a big spotlight, and they're only getting bigger. They're having like the matches in New Japan shows. Now there's going to be the IWGP Women's title. So Stardom is just getting bigger and getting more recognition. So it was just the perfect time for this to happen. And I think Shuri is the perfect person because she's an amazing champion. If you don't know, just please go look for any Shuri match from the past year. I guarantee you're going to fall in love with her and you're going to fall in love with Stardom. She's just one of the best in the world, male or female, just in general right now. So yes, please. So deserved. I was so happy. I could not believe when I saw it. I was flabbergasted. I just loved it so much. Yes, it's deserved. If you don't think it's deserved, just go look into her work. It's going to speak for itself.
Yeah.
So, I don't know a lot about her, but from what I have seen, she is an incredible talent. Like I watched that the rematch for the red belt, and that match was like fantastic. That was like one of the best women's matches I've ever seen. Like, but she's definitely someone that I want to look into more, and like hearing everyone talk about how incredible she is, it's just solidified it more for me that there should be more focus on the Joshi talents, and more people should be exposed to them. So I'm hoping that they get more recognition, especially like going into the next year and that.
Yeah, I haven't been too exposed because I wish I had more time because I really want to have like a full blown binge with Stardom and get to know like all the talent individually. But from what I've seen, like I agree, like she's an incredible talent. I don't think she's ever had like a performance that I've seen that was lacking anything. Like she's really exciting. And yeah, I think 100% is deserved. And also, you know, hopefully we'll see more people that become Stardom fans and like Ice Ribbon fans and Joshi in general, kind of give it more exposure. Because let me tell you, when I first tried to get into Stardom, I felt like it was just hard to like navigate through it and like figure out like how to watch full shows and like full matches and stuff. They do have things on YouTube, of course, but like I think as it has maybe more mainstream attention, it'll also be a lot more accessible for people to watch it in the States and kind of give it more exposure here, and like they could run more shows here that we can like physically go to and everything. I just see big things for the Joshis moving forward, and like we love that because there should always be more women's wrestling being highlighted just in general.
And like Stardom is just, for me personally, and I know it's kind of biased because I'm a huge fan, but it's just top, like one of the best wrestling in the world. And not only women's wrestling, just wrestling in general. It's like one of the best. And that's it, period.
Yeah. Sorry, I was watching.
I know, I saw that. Oh, I love y'all.
Yeah.
Someone asked in the chat, Tapito, what Shuri match would you all recommend? So for me, it's so many matches. Like I said, you can get like any Shuri match from the past year and it's going to be amazing. Of course, the Utami matches are the most talked about, especially the draw one. But that match is like, I feel it's not a good first match to watch from Shuri, because it's like a 45 minutes thing and there's the whole story, and the rhythm, it can get kind of slow because they really build upon it. So if you want like just to watch a first match and be impressed by it, I would say probably Shuri versus Azumi from the 5-Star Grand Prix. It's a good one. Or Shuri versus Sam Nakano for the red belt this year and start a Midsummer Champions show. Probably those matches are really good just to get to know her style, and then you can get into the Utami matches. And Shuri versus Julia from the beginning of the year as well was great. And they're going to have a rematch in December for their big show, the biggest show they have in the year, which is Dream Kingdom, which Julia is probably going to win the red belt. And I feel like Julia winning the red belt is a thing that's going to get a lot of people into Stardom. Because like Julia is she just has the energy, the it girl energy. I feel like she exudes the same energy that I see in Sasha, for example.
She does.
Yes.
When I first got into it, I liked her the most. Like, she just stood out to me in the way that the very first, and I hate to cut you off, but like the way I got into Stardom is the first match I saw was Julia versus Hana. And they were shooting. I was like my eyes glossed up. I was just like, they have wrestling like this, and I haven't been watching it. Like, that match was amazing. It's probably like one of my favorite Joshi matches I've seen, probably just because it was the first one that I've seen, so it's like special to me, and it's them too, and it was amazing. I wish I could remember what event it was from, but it was just so long ago. But I remember thinking like them two were like it. So yeah, Julia.
That's one of the first matches I watched too, and it was just incredible.
Yeah, Julia's her. So I feel like Julia, and she has so much appeal. So I feel like she winning the red belt is gonna be something that's gonna really put Stardom on another level with American fans for sure. And people in the chat are saying the Shuri versus Rita Sarah match, and yes, absolutely. I think that's one of my favorite Shuri matches from her title reign. So yeah, and it's so different. The pace is so fast. They're just like trying to kill each other the entire match. So it's amazing. So just Shuri versus Rita Sarah, watch it. Incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, someone said, Lamora said, Julia's so great. I worry that Triple H is going to notice her. See the stress on Anna's face.
Look, I think I said this in another episode of the podcast, but I don't remember which one was it, that I'm so afraid of Triple H, like, hiring her for NXT. And naming her, like, Juliana Gucci because she's half Italian. Like... I'm just so afraid of it because I just know that was something they would do, like Juliana Gucci. I couldn't. Oh, I'm scared. I want to see her wrestle in America, and because I know she has the potential to be like that bitch. She already is that bitch in Japan. But I'm scared. Because her style is, like you said, Israel, is like shoot. She just hits people and she headbutts people and she's just like really, really hit them. And I know in WWE that wouldn't be like allowed.
Yeah,
I don't want to see her lose that.
I think she would have to dumb herself down because she's gonna who is she gonna wrestle, like Sonya Deville. And now Emma, Ronda Rousey. She's just gonna and not to shit on like any of these women, but it's just like it sucks when you see someone that's extremely talented, but then they have to slow themselves down a lot and they can't really like fully push themselves. And that's what I meant when I was talking about Sasha earlier. It's like she has the WWE formula down to a science, and she knows how to make herself look good and her opponents look good and be really exciting at the same time. But even with her, you see her when she wrestles certain people, like, can't name any off the top of my head, but like where she's had to kind of like slow down for that person. And I don't know. I feel like hopefully if WWE were to, destroy Anna's life and, sign a bunch of Joshis, that they would elevate the women. And it wouldn't be like the other way around, which really sucks. But in my opinion, like it would be nice to see some Joshis in WWE just because it will elevate the roster by a ton, and it'll like that's money. But at the same time, it's like I also really want to see like the Joshi, like the whole industry expand and like be bigger. So I don't know. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, the thought when you said like Julia versus Ronda Rousey, I almost threw up. I was just like, no, I felt sick.
That is not a match I want to see.
That's a nightmare. Please.
Yeah, okay. I would hate that. Keep Ronda away from everything. Like, I forgot that the women's that the SmackDown Women's title existed after Liv dropped it, because like what has Ronda done with it since?
Absolutely nothing.
No. What did y'all think about Thunder Rosa being third? Because like I think like we can all agree Bianca Belair deserves to be number 2, unless you have anything else to add. But like she definitely deserves.
She's incredible. She's only going to get better. So
yeah, and I think it's deserved out of all the WWE women that it would be Bianca. She's put in the hours, she put in the time. She's banger matches with anybody. But yeah, let's go to number 3. What did y'all think about Thunder Rosa?
That was Though I think it's the only one in the top 10 that I would switch around.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe top 10 for the whole thing with the title and she becoming champion. Yeah, top 10, but I don't know if number 3. I feel like they just wanted to put like in number 3, 1 WWE, 1 Stardom, and 1 AEW, just to be like that. But I don't know.
And out of like the AEW locker room, like she probably is the one on paper that's had like the best, especially like the first half of the year, like on paper, like regardless of what we think, because of obviously we've already talked about it. But yeah, I don't really know who I would name above her for AEW, like, because as much as I love Jade Cargill and I think she's like really getting up there to be like a really good wrestler, on paper Thunder Rosa did have the better first half of the year. So
yeah, and also I know they consider like the size of the championship, the size of the belt. So like the main title, it's bigger than the like secondary one. So I understand that, but at the same time, it's like,
yeah, it's like,
that's unfortunate. Who would y'all put in number 3 instead? Like, who do you think deserves? Like in the.
Honestly, I would have put in like Saya Kamitani. That's just me though. Like I feel like even there was the one debate that I saw like Stardom fans having, because I know a lot of WWE fans and other American fans were like, oh, who's Shuri? Shouldn't be number 1. But the debate that I actually saw within Stardom fans was like, okay, I think Saya should probably be like top 3. And if you're gonna put like a Stardom growing first, maybe it should have been Saya. But you know, the white belt is still like kind of below the red belt, so I understand her not being number 1. But if you're gonna put like on paper her title reign, I think the matches and the stories and everything have been like a little bit better than Shuri's for me, because like I'm a huge fan of her. So I would probably put Saya number 3, but that's just me being biased.
Yeah. I think like even looking at the list, like looking at number 4 was Becky Lynch. I think on paper she had a better like 12 months than Thunder Rosa did. I feel like her matches were more consistent. Like she did more story-wise. Like I know people didn't really like where her character went, but like when you look at it like on paper, like she just had a more consistent run, in my opinion, than Thunder Rosa did. But yeah.
Bro, Becky's ability to piss you off when she's on screen, but then make you miss her when she's gone, it pisses me off, because it's like when she's here, I'm like, get the fuck out of my face. Like, I do not want to see this woman on my screen, even though it's compelling. And then when she's on screen, it's like, damn, like she has like, there's something about her where like, it's like the women's roster, especially on Raw, like they just need someone like her, because she's very creative. She has a really incredible wrestling mind. And like, I shit on her a lot because it is what it is. But at the same time, it's like, I can give her credit where it's like, she knows how to bring the best out of all of her opponents. Like her match with Bianca Belair was crazy. And then like we mentioned earlier, like the 3-way at Crown Jewel, like that was incredible. Like her ability to like adapt and work with like a whole bunch of different women and make them look good. I don't know if her being on hiatus dropped her on the list, but I felt like it would have been smarter to have her above Thunder Rosa.
Okay.
Jade at 5, I think, is deserved. Like she's had an incredible year. 100%. I think she's another wrestler that's like, she's already gotten, I think, some notice with like the mainstream, like general public, and like she could have the potential to like really elevate AEW and like bring in more fans, because she's just so interesting and compelling. Like I think a lot of people, even outside of the wrestling bubble, like her look and her energy.
No, she's it. Honestly, Jade Cargill for me, like it's crazy that she's so new to wrestling. It's insane, because she already has it down for me to a T. Of course, she's getting better in the ring. She still has like a path to go, but the presence, the look, everything, she has it. It's just one of those things for me. Like either you have it or you don't, and she has it down. She's only getting better, and I can see maybe like even next year her being like number 1 on the list.
I can see
I feel like if they like are really hot on her booking and like book her like the way that they did at the start with her just running through women, then she's 100% going to be number 1 at the next year. And I think she should go for I think she should drop the TBS belt at some point and start going for the main title, because I think she's ready for it.
She has the like crossover appeal.
Yeah.
So
For
if
sure.
there's like one woman in AEW that I think can like put the division and even the company on another level and get more fans from outside of wrestling, from outside the bubble, I think Jade is definitely the one.
Yeah. She's got so much charisma. She's got her like on-screen presentation down. Like she's just like the whole package. And as you said, she's getting better and better in the ring like every time she wrestles. I just wish she would got more TV time at the moment, because I feel like they've kind of called her character off a bit, and then they like pick it up again, and then they call her off. Like they just need to be more consistent with her booking, and she'll be right up there.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing because Israel left and she's the one that had all the plot points.
Wait,
So we just gotta freestyle right now.
There we go.
Hey.
I was just like, I'm gonna keep talking.
I know. I was just like,
No, I didn't leave. I'm streaming off my phone,
yeah.
and I got a very concerning message, and I'm just like, I just have to black out for a second, but I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm seeing like people in the chat talk about like how they're gonna run Jade versus Marina Shafir again, and like Jade should have better opponents. Yeah, that's true. Jade versus Marina Shafir again. I don't know what Tony Khan is cooking. I don't want to know. Like,
it will be a match. It will be another win for Jade Cargill.
Yeah,
so.
definitely a match. Yes.
Yeah.
We got.
It's gonna be a match. It's gonna happen. Yes, that's it.
I don't know if we're gonna have much to say, but Jordan Grace is next on the list, number 6.
She's had a good year from what I've heard. Like, I can't fault it. I don't know enough about her running Impact, so.
yeah.
I don't
Okay, number 7.
Oh, yeah, before we move on, please like the video and subscribe and comment and super chats, all of that. Thank you.
Yes. Next we have Saya.
Yes. That's my girl, Saya
And
Kamitani.
give us the breakdown on her. Put us on.
Okay. So for me personally, my wrestler of the year, Saya Kamitani. Like, there was what I was talking about the debate among the Stardom fans, like of either Shuri or Saya was the wrestler of the year, of like who was the best, because they were both amazing. But for me personally, Saya stood off like a lot more because she had like a secondary belt, kind of like the white belt, and she still made every single match fucking incredible. She only had like amazing matches. My match of the year is still Saya versus Natsupoi. Like, she had amazing matches throughout her entire reign, even being the secondary belt. Like, she was able to just show herself, and just I don't even know how to say. I love that woman. Like, I would die for her. Like, she's honestly, like, she's just it for me. And the thing is, which is also crazy, this is her 3rd year wrestling. She's really new in wrestling. And she's like my wrestler.
I didn't know that. She's so good.
Yeah.
What the heck? I didn't know that.
It's insane.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Or it's her 2nd year. It's like her 2nd or 3rd year. I just know like she's really young in wrestling, and she's already one of the best in the world. And this was really like the year, because right before she got the white belt, a lot of people didn't have faith in her, and they were like, what is Rosa Ogawa thinking? Like, she's not ready to be a champion. And she just proved everyone like wrong. She's just been having an amazing year. She's been having great matches. Her 5-star Grand Prix was also great. I thought she should be higher on the list. I thought for me, she was definitely top 5 material. I understand them wanting like to break apart the Stardom girls and like having a little bit of diversity in the middle. But yeah, for me, just she's my wrestler of the year for sure. Saya Kamitani, if you don't know, you should know. She's gonna be she's already huge. She's already one of the best, only 2-3 years into her career. So just watch her, follow her. She's unbelievable.
How old is she?
She's not like, for Joshi, she's kind of old. She's like 25, 26. For Joshi, that's like a grandma, But she started she started her career like a little bit older, compare like with the other girls. Like Azumi is 19, so like, which is also crazy. But yeah, Saya, she's just Saya Kamitani for me. It's just it. Honestly, she's almost 26. Yes, that's it. She's like someone in the chat says she's like Lady Karibushi. Her entire thing is inspired by Karibushi, and I feel like she does it amazingly. So it is what it is. But yes, for me she should be number 3. Just saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Saya Kamitani, her. Period.
And then we have Charlotte Flair at number 8.
Yeah.
It's Charlotte, yeah.
Yes.
Charlotte?
From what you say, I feel like that's a
Yes.
good position. For her.
She deserves to be top 10 just off the fact that she got a good match out of Ronda Rousey, which is literally like pulling teeth. I liked I forgot which pay-per-view it was, but the last woman standing match that she had with Ronda Rousey, I thought it was really compelling. I thought it was really exciting. I love the part when they had like a sword fight with the kendo sticks. It was very like cinematic. Like it was. I love when people use like weapons creatively. I thought that their match was really fun. And I don't know, to be honest, like if her hiatus should have maybe like lowered her a little bit, because she has been gone for a while. Like
she's been gone for like what, 6 months?
Yeah. Charlotte Flair, if you are watching this, which I'm sure she is, because who doesn't watch the Russell Pierce
the A show? Yeah.
Get back on TV, bro. The SmackDown Women's Division is in shambles.
That division. I was looking like one of those days. I was looking through the division, and because like Emma debuted, and I was like, okay, so who is in the division now? Ronda Rousey, Emma, like Raquel, like Shotzi, and I was like, it's Sarah Logan. I was like, yeah, it's a division.
Wait, Sarah Logan?
Sarah Logan?
Yeah, she's back, isn't she?
I don't think she was on TV yet.
She was like with the Viking Raiders. I don't know if she's gonna wrestle, but like,
wow.
But anyway, like, the SmackDown division is really complicated right now.
Man, I was in shambles when Liv was champion, because like in my opinion, like Liv, I want to put her in the top 5, to be honest, just because she was able to break out a lot this year. And like to people that watch WWE, like, in spite of really bad booking on WWE's end, Liv was always able to get herself over with the crowd and like always make herself interesting, even though they would have her losing every single match, and have her kind of like, even up until she got the briefcase, they just, for some reason, don't want to put in the time to book the women's champion on SmackDown with like
consistently.
I felt like her reign could have been amazing if she would have actually had some good opponents. Like, I was talking about like, if you're the star player on your team and everyone else is shit, like who are you gonna hoop with? Like and her match with Shayna Baszler was like her best match. And why was that? Because they got Ronda Rousey out the way, and Shayna has like, she's actually like an incredible talent. Like I don't know if you guys remember when she was champion in NXT, like she was amazing, and she looked like a star. And it's like, if they would just put more thought into the booking, I think it would have like made her title reign better. But she kind of had like really no one to work with besides the worst player on the team. But it is what it is. I think Liv probably would have been higher if she would have had a stronger title reign. It's tough when you have a lot of momentum before winning your championship and then getting the championship, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, now you have the belt. It's like, oh, she's like the Cinderella story type of thing, but they completely flopped with that. So I hope next time around it's better. And it really sucks that like that's how you consume WWE, with like, oh, let's hope they do something with this, because you have a gem on your hands and you're just letting it just go to waste.
I feel like that's a really common theme in like women winning the big titles, because if the same thing happened with Thunder Rosa, like the same thing kind of happened with Jade Cargill. Like her reign, like they like called her off and like heated her back up, and like it's been really on and off. There's just something about the way that American bookers book women as champions that they just kind of kill it. And I don't know how they keep managing to do it when these people are getting so over organically, and then you're not capitalizing on that. And it just, I don't get it.
No, it makes no sense at all. Like I want to say in AEW, like Jamie Hayter.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give her credit because I'm a professional. She's gotten over with the crowd. Like it's insane because like her reactions have been like, you can tell the crowd is really behind her.
Yeah.
And every time she kind of gets to that point where she's gonna overcome the Britt Baker thing, it's like they're like, nah, we're gonna go back. And it's like
you thought.
It's annoying by now, honestly. Like, I feel like they missed the timing so many times, and they're able like to hit it back up, and then they completely cut it off again. And they're now in a point where like the crowd is chanting her name, even if she's not in the match, if she's just like on the ringside. She gets the biggest reactions, and they have to know that that's also something that's gonna cool off if they don't invest in it, if they don't capitalize on it. And I don't know, it just annoys me by now. It just really everything. I blame on Britt Baker. It just fucking annoys me so fucking much. I'm sorry. Like it's over. It's time. Like let's move on, please.
Yeah. They need to
Chris,
pull the trigger on it.
Because I was rooting for Chris Statlander to be the one to break like Jade's streak and get the title, but now she's out for like a year, so I feel like Jamie is the person to do that. Because I really like Jamie, but I don't know if I see her like being the AEW Women's Champion right now, because I'm really liking Tony as a champion. So I would like to see her with that title and just like get over Britt Baker, get away from it. Let just let her be her. The public is already behind her. But I, like you said, Charlie, like when they give women the title, they just like cool them off. So I can see like she getting the TNT title and then just doing nothing.
Yeah, I feel like the thing with Jamie, because of there's like all the rumors swirling that they're going to be in the UK next summer, and they're going to be doing the shows at Craven Cottage, that they're trying to like drag it out until we get to there to do something big with her. But this is like still like, you're still like 7 months away from this.
Yeah.
Like at least you can't keep the back and forth going for 7 months. Like she's still going to be incredibly over in 7 months if you book her correctly. I'm not saying put a belt on her right now. Just get the story with Britt done. Let her have some like really good feuds with like some mid-card heels in the women's. Like she could probably have a good match with like Penelope. I think she did have a good match with Penelope Ford like semi-recently. There's like another like mid-card heels, like build her up to face like a Jade Cargill or someone like that. And then you can do that in the UK if that's what they're waiting for. But she should have not been with Britt Baker already. That's my opinion.
Yeah. It's unfortunate for her. I'm not like particularly a big fan, but we'll see if she can get me to change my mind. Because if someone knocks my socks off at one point, like I will retract my slander and I will take it back. But we're just gonna have to see. And definitely, I wanted to bring this up. Momentum is so real in sports in general, but with wrestling especially. Like if you have enough momentum behind you, like they just need to capitalize off of it, because it can easily cool down and the fans will just stop caring.
I feel like the one example of what AEW have done well recently is putting the Pure Championship on Daniel Garcia at like the peak of like him gaining momentum, because now he's just gaining even more with like all the layers to like the JAS BCC storyline. I almost said Bullet Club. Wrong faction. But like I feel like they actually like nailed that, like put the title on him at the right time, like everyone was behind it. So I'll give them props for that they've done that well.
I like a good example, I think, in women's wrestling that they did correctly, like in taking advantage of the momentum, was with Becky Lynch. Honestly, like her whole storyline of becoming the man, like turning on Charlotte and becoming the man and winning the championship, losing, and then going to WrestleMania to main event, like that whole thing for me was so well done. Yeah. Like until this day, I still look back at it like one of my favorite moments as a women's wrestling fan. I thought it was like everything was so well done in the storyline, and they really capitalized on her momentum. So I feel like we need more of that in women's wrestling in general, because they don't know how to take advantage of that.
Yeah. Okay, any more thoughts before we move on to the next person? So we have at number 9, Starlight Kid.
Yes. That surprised me. That surprised me a lot. I gotta be honest. Like, I know.
Joshi heavy list. Like,
yes, that's amazing. Like, because I was thinking, like, if they're gonna have 3 people from Stardom, I wouldn't put Starlight Kid like in the top 3 of the Stardom girls, but I guess it makes sense. I feel like she got really over with the public. She's one of the most popular Stardom girls right now. Even like in America with international fans, she got really over. And she was the high speed champion. She lost the title to Azumi, and she won the like tag titles and the trio titles. She won like 3 different championships in the evaluation period. So I guess it makes sense. And also she had like singles match for other titles, like her match with Sayaka Mitani, unbelievable. So I understand it. I guess it makes sense, but it was really surprising to me. I'm happy. Like, I'm not complaining. I was really, really happy to see that. I didn't expect it at all. But it was surprising for sure from the Stardom girlies. I wouldn't have thought that, but when you stop and actually think about everything she did in the year, I guess it makes sense. So I was just so happy to see like 3 Stardom girls in the top 10. And those 3 for me absolutely deserved. I love Starlight Kid, and I feel she has the potential to get even bigger because, like I said, she's like still finding herself. She still needs to win like a big one of the big singles title, like the white belt or the red belt. So she's gonna get there, and she's only gonna get better. So yeah, I was happy. Honestly, surprised but happy.
Yeah,
Honestly,
she's not someone
I just enjoyed the amount of Joshis they put in the top 10.
Yes.
Like,
I love the representation. Like, Joshi wrestling is like the peak of women's wrestling. Like, and there should definitely be more of a spotlight on it. So I'm glad that they're getting the attention.
I mean, it's an all women's show. I don't understand complaining that literal wrestling companies that are for women and about women wrestlers only got any type of slander, because it's like you should want to elevate that kind of like this whole thing. Like, you can't say like, oh, I support women's wrestling, I love women's wrestling, but then you only support the companies that have women, and these companies don't even really know how to utilize the women. Like, think, like, use your fucking brain. Because for me, it's like I said, like, I'm not 100% like educated, and like I haven't seen like enough of the material from these women, but because I'm seeing so many Joshis, it's like, okay, well, like, now I want to get into it more, and you know, maybe I will. But yeah, do you want to? Do you have any more thoughts about Alexia, Charlie? The 3 of us, we have like our Joshi queen, Anna.
I know, Anna.
It's just
love it though. I'm getting like I'm like getting educated on it too. That's why I'm just like listening. I'm like, I mean, obviously I don't know quite a lot about like Stardom and like Joshis. So it's like nice actually hearing like, so it's like stuff that interests me. It's like from my perspective, because, you know, like I know some of their matches. I'm not like, you know, I'm not like the number one historian. I know everything about Joshi. So it's like kind of cool. Like I'm like exposed to this list. So in one way I'm like exposed to these. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to look up this wrestler because, you know, there's a reason why she's so high up in the list. You know, I'm interested in going out of my way to look up her matches and see like, I like her. I want to get more into this. And that's just kind of like how, I guess, like it expands more into like not just liking one wrestler, but just like exploring more wrestlers within that like company, like Stardom and like Tokyo Joshi, Ice Ribbon, Choco Pro. You know, it's just like
and I feel like now it's a great moment to get into Joshi because, like I said, like Stardom and Tokyo Joshi, they're really expanding. Like the wrestlers are having more matches outside of Japan, and they're like in even the matches within Japan, they're having like more visibility. It's being more accessible. The Stardom girls are now gonna wrestle within Japan. They're appearing in Japan shows. So I feel like it's a great moment to start getting into it. And because it's only gonna get bigger, it's only gonna get more attention. And like we were saying about Sasha, if she manages to go to Japan, like it's gonna explode even more because she's just that bitch. So yeah, I just feel like now is the best possible moment to get into it if you ever were interested or you ever thought about getting into Joshi. And like I always said, if you don't know how to get into Joshi or what to watch, you can come talk to me. I'm more than happy to help. I want everyone to start watching it because, like I said, it's one of the best wrestling in the world, not just men, like not just women, it's just like in general. So now I think it's one of the best moments to get into it and to watch it. And next year, for sure, the list is gonna have even more Joshis on it. I'm sure Julia is gonna be top 3. Like it's gonna be amazing. So yeah, just watch Stardom, watch Shaka Joshi, just watch Joshi in general. Watch women's wrestling. That's it.
That's it. And then at 10, I think we're gonna stop after 10. So this person, not familiar with her. Her name is Taya Valkyrie.
Valkyrie.
Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah, she was in NXT for a while, Israel. She was like Frankie Monet. Was that
Frankie Monet?
Yeah, she's John Morrison's wife.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I stopped watching NXT when they kept going back and forth with Gargano and Ciampa. People always talk about, oh, Triple H killed NXT, AEW killed NXT. No. Johnny Gargano and Ciampa killed NXT. I was just mentally checked out. I'm like, this is not the NXT that I got into, where like it was like these new fresh faces and everyone is like getting their shine. It's like it's just the. I'm completely getting off topic, but it's like that's kind of what put NXT off. So anything that happened after that, I couldn't tell you. So I had no idea she was in NXT. Why did she get released? Was it like during the budget cut thing?
Yes.
Budget cut. Yeah.
I mean, they didn't really do anything with her either. Like, she came in, she did like a couple of backstage bits. She had like what 1, 2, 3 matches maybe, and then she was gone.
Yeah, and like she had a big year, especially like in Mexico.
Yes,
because she has her faction with the Lucha Brothers, and she's currently the champion, the Reina de Reinas, right?
La Reina de Reinas, yeah, which is like the women's champion.
So she had a good year, and even before she went to NXT, she already had like a big career in Mexico, especially and in the Indies. So, I mean, I guess seeing the championships, I guess is like seeing like they were trying to, in the top 10. I feel like they were really trying to get like wrestlers from all around. They were trying to make like kind of a diverse list for the women's wrestling. So I feel like they needed someone that wrestled in Mexico, and she was like the one to do it because she's the current champion there.
Yeah, I think she's had such a like solid year, like also like in Impact and like MLW and like just and AAA. So I think it's pretty deserved, like, you know, like, and it's good that it's also like they're trying to get like more exposure, I guess, to like like women's like Mexican wrestlers, because, you know, there's not obviously quite a lot, but I was pretty surprised and I was pretty happy like seeing her in the top 10, just because I remember like the very first match I saw from her, it was like in 2016, I think. I was visiting my family in Mexico and we went to a show. So like I saw Taya Valkyrie and Mamba against Pimpinela and Fabio Apache. So it was really cool, like getting to that, like fast forward a couple years, whenever I saw her like in NXT, I was like, I saw her wrestle in Mexico. So it was just kind of like, I don't know, it was just like a cool little moment for me. So ever since then, I'm like, that's my girlie, you know, I love her.
I think she deserved to be in the top 10. Like the matches I have seen, like the one she had in Impact with Masha Slamovich, and did she have a match against Mickie James, or was that someone else? I might be getting cross. I don't watch a lot of Impact, but no, the matches I have seen, she had some really good ones. So I think she deserved it, especially if they're like trying to get more representation in for AAA. Like obviously she is the champion, so she was a good option.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some more super chats.
Yeah, we got some super chats.
Monty.
He fell asleep.
Monty? Question mark? Frisco, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you,
the
Frisco.
Thank you, Frisco. Divas Division Stan account. We're only gonna go up from here. This is just episode 1. Like, we're gonna cook up like a lot more stuff for the future. So thank you for the super chat. We have like a lot more in store. So thank you.
6 stars.
Thank you.
Love you so much. Thank you. You're the best, Queen.
$20 super chat.
Happy to see the girlies up there. Keep up the great work, my queens. Thank you, 6 star. You really open your pockets for us. We don't deserve. We appreciate you.
We're a big supporter of the channel in general. So
yeah, shout out to 6 star. We love her. Where's
okay, and Darren Walker, 2 pounds. That's the pound sign, right?
Yeah.
American. Deonna Purrazzo should be in top 10. What promotion does she work?
She was like with Impact.
Impact, yeah.
Is she a free agent at the moment? Yeah.
Like the thing is, like I don't think, like, if we see the other women in this list, I don't think her year was like deserved of being top 10.
Monty comment.
Okay, let's get your own comment up. I want to address this. He said, Israel, we know you're an Impact stan. Stop this. Okay. here's some Israel lore for you guys. This is looking like this is just an inside joke, but in 2015, I was at Universal with, some pretty insufferable people, and I saw a sign that said like wrestling show, Kurt Angle's gonna be here. And at the time I wasn't like watching wrestling. Like I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Like I might have stopped watching wrestling at like 2008, 2009-ish. And like I was like, I love Kurt Angle. Like I remember him. I'm like, it's for free. Like I'll go. I managed to literally be like in like the very front row because believe it or not, Impact does not have like a really big crowd, and no one really cares.
That is very understandable. Yes.
So I just went to the front. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what these chants mean. I was very much just here for the vibes, and like the show had like Drew McIntyre cutting like a ex-WWE guy promo and crying, and like the crowd was going nuts for some reason about that. I was like, yeah, fuck WWE, like fuck WWE over here, right? And then Kurt Angle had like a three-way with Eric Young and Bobby Lashley for the title. Mm-hmm. And that was like the only part of the show that wasn't absolutely fucking terrible. They had a pretty decent match. Kurt Angle, and in his 2015 state, he still got it at that time. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I even got into wrestling, is going to an Impact show for free. And I was like texting my brother because we watched wrestling together as kids, and I was like, look where I am. And I sent him a picture of Kurt Angle was like right in front of me because he was like whatever selling. Yeah. And it was just like one of those moments where I was like, you know what, like I actually really enjoyed myself at Impact. Mm-hmm. And then here I am now. So maybe deep, really, really deep down, I am an Impact fan because it did kind of bring me back to wrestling. But I watched the show back that I went to very recently, and I was like, I sat through this whole thing because like now I've experienced good wrestling and bad wrestling. I can differentiate. So now I'm like,
yeah, I get it. That's like literally like the main reason. Like I think like 2 months ago. This is the very first, and I think pretty sure last Impact show I ever go to. They had Aussie Open and Motor City Machine Guns in the card, and that match was. Love those guys.
I mean, that's a match that's worth going to Impact for. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Monty said Israel had an on-screen cameo. Listen, if we can get this video to 100 likes, I will post my cameo. At Impact, mind you, this was like I was like 17 years old, and I looked like a nerd, and I was just like, so it's gonna be like kind of embarrassing, but fuck it, 100 likes.
Get it to 100 likes.
Yeah,
and make sure once the video is posted to leave a comment, share, subscribe, the usual. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'll be willing to post it and show you guys. My cameo, it's so bad. It's like so bad. But shout out to Impact. I haven't watched it since, but shout out to Impact.
I haven't watched Impact consistently since like 2014.
I haven't watched Impact consistently, like, period.
You
didn't really miss out on a lot, to be honest.
It's crazy because when I was like getting into wrestling in like 2015, 2016-ish, like I remember seeing like all the discourse about how badly WWE books the Divas division at the time, and how they were comparing like the Impact knockouts to being like the new standard of women's wrestling, and how they got to have like this spotlight that WWE wasn't giving the women. So it's crazy to think how much influence Impact actually had on women's wrestling as a whole, because at one point they were kind of the standard, I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, and with North American women's wrestling, because they got to experiment more, and they got to like have gimmick matches, they got to like do a whole bunch of other shit that we weren't used to seeing at the time. So in a way, Impact, like, impacted women's wrestling in a way.
Yeah, like what I do know about like Impact and the whole like importance in women's wrestling is like the Gail Kim and the Awesome Kong like feud. Yes. I just know that feud was so important in women's wrestling in America. It just like changed the game. So yeah, I know about that, but like Impact in general, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't follow it often. There's a few people that I like keep up with in Impact, but like the promotion as a whole, there's There's not a lot for me. It has Bobby Fish. That says enough.
Oh. So Bobby Fish is not for the bad bitches? He's not for the hoes?
Bobby Fish is not for the bad bitches. Oh my
Where's
god.
the lie?
Oh my god,
Like...
I told y'all about this, but I accidentally like ran into Bobby Fish once in real life.
I remember you saying that.
And he's little. Like, he's smaller than me.
Yeah.
I was so shook, and I didn't stop him to ask for a picture because I had much more important things to be doing at the time. But I saw him, I was like, hey, it's Bobby Fish. Holy shit, why is he so small? It's like but yeah,
that's so funny. I'm sorry. I'm just picturing how small Bobby Fish is compared to Isra. Just so funny.
Yeah. That's like top one, not for the bad bitches. If we had a ranking, he's in top 3.
Yeah,
he's always the weakest link in every single group he was a part of. Like, I think if he wasn't a part of a group, no one would be checking for him.
Impact right now. It's literally nobody's like going out of the way saying, hey, I wonder what Bobby Fish is up to in TNA.
Yeah. I mean, at least he knows his worth.
Yeah. That promo for me was folks versus the lie. Like, that promo was so funny. Just the silence.
That was in his hometown. And
the silence. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. I'm sorry. Like, if you get booed in the middle of a promo, at least you're getting a reaction. If you get like just silence, I don't know how you survive that. I would have
cried. I'm sorry. If I was in this position, I literally would have started crying. Like, I would have just been like, I can't.
Oh.
It's embarrassing.
Shambles.
Right. So who do we think is up next with women's wrestlers? Like, who's like a younger, fresher face that you see just becoming a superstar? For me, I'll let you guys think about it because I had time to think about it. I'm gonna say Roxanne Perez.
Yes.
I've seen in total like 3 of her matches, and for me, I have a rule when I get into a wrestler. I watch like 5 of their matches. If you cannot like knock me off my socks in this time, that's when I start hating on you. And Roxanne Perez is at 3 matches, and she's wowed me, her performance in all 3. So she gets privileges, and I think she's just really exciting. Like, I feel like with enough experience that she could like, turn into a star on the main roster. I don't know. I know people are very like, it's controversial on Cora Jade, but in my opinion, her match with Cora Jade was probably one of my favorite NXT women's matches from like the past year. And in my opinion, she made Cora look amazing. And I'm not particularly a Cora Jade fan, but I felt like that match was really creative. It was fun. I felt like that match was for the girlies. That match was for, for the kids. Like, anyone could really get into it. And it was like partially gimmicky, but both of them are like really adorable. Yeah. So like the gimmicky, cartoony spots they did, it worked. Like, maybe the men wouldn't be into something like that because it's not just like a work rate match, but it was very quirky. It was fun. I think Roxanne has a lot of charisma and personality, and that just takes you a lot further than everyone else. Because if you have the talent, but also you're a lot of fun, you could be a star. So I see it for her.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's a good answer because like she, especially like you said, like she appeals to like the kids as well, and that's the next generation of wrestling fans. You want to keep them as wrestling fans as they grow up. Like, so like the fact that she has that connection with the audience already, and that's just going to get stronger. And it's just she is like the future for WWE, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Willow Nightingale's another one, I would say. I think Willow's like the whole package. I love the fact that she finally got her All Elite graphic. She's like picking up the momentum. She's been having great matches with like people on the roster that she's gone up against. She had a really good match on Rampage against Jamie Hayter. Like both her matches with Jade Cargill have been great. I think she's like someone they can build like as like the baby face in AEW. I'm just really excited
like,
for her.
Everything. Like, she has the charisma, she has the character. Like, every time I see her, I'm just like, I smile immediately. Like, I'm just like, I love her. Like, she's just so, like, her energy is like so contagious. It's just like, I'm just like,
And she's adorable. She's another wrestler that's like, I feel like women love her.
Yeah.
And I feel like also kids will love her a lot.
Yes.
And the men that are really into like the work rate women that like put on like really exciting matches. I agree. Willow is, in terms of AEW, I feel like she's up next too. So I like that.
I'm thinking because I'm trying to think of like Joshi's, but the thing is like I feel that in Japan they do such a great job with showcasing the young girls, like the Joshis that are starting. They do like such a great job in putting them in title matches and giving them like good matches against the veterans. So you don't feel like anyone is up next because you feel like everyone is already like showing up and showing out. Yeah. So like I'm just thinking about it. I would probably say like Miyu Watanabe is definitely one for sure. She's a champion right now in Tokyo Joshi. She's the International Princess Champion. So she's already a champion, but I feel like she can be like the main champion from the company. And she's someone that I feel like if she goes to the United States and she has a tour and more people get to know her, I feel like she can really get over because she has a energy for me that matches Willow. She's just like the positive energy, the LOVE energy, like the love energy. She's just like that person. So I feel like she can really be huge with other audiences. And in Stardom, I was thinking like maybe like Azumi, she's already huge. Come on, like, everyone knows Azumi. Everyone knows that she's like, amazing, but she's 19 years old. And she's the high-speed champion right now, but I feel like she can be a red belt champion in the future. So even like Starlight Kid, like who we were talking about, she's not a singles champion, but I feel like she can be so much more. And I don't know. I just think like so. The thing about Joshis for me is that they, even when they're young and in their first year of their career, they're already like being treated like stars. So I feel like that's something that they do great in Japan. But I would probably say like maybe Miyu Watanabe, Azumi, and if I would say someone that's actually young and just started off and I feel like they have great potential, I would probably say Miyu Yamazaki from Queen's Class from Stardom. I would probably say her. I feel like she has great potential. But just a lot of girls. There's a lot of new girls in Joshi. Just go watch that. That's it.
Also, I peeped some of the Jakara. Yes, she has. Oh my gosh, she is such a beautiful woman. Like she has like the appeal where it's just like appeals to like not if you show her like to like a non-wrestling fan, you show her that's someone you're like gonna want to look forward to. You're like, oh you know, I feel like she also has like a lot of potential. Like just give her like a few more matches and stuff, and like just like showcase her like a little bit more like in the TV, like let her build her confidence up. And I feel like she would be like perfect like for like the next like big face, quote unquote.
Someone said in the chat Suzu Suzuki, and Suzu Suzuki, absolutely. It's insane that she's like 20 years old I think now, because she wrestles like she's a veteran. She's for me personally, like she had one of the best Five Star Grand Prix. She had one of the best like women's matches of the year, multiple actually. She's just phenomenal, and I feel like she's just starting right now, and she has the potential to be one of the best ever if she keeps going the way she's going. So Suzu Suzuki, absolutely.
Love that. So, let's wrap this up by saying this time next year, who do we see being number one?
I think it might be obvious. Like,
I'm gonna say Sasha Banks because I feel like she's gonna come back and she's gonna take her spot as like the main bitch in wrestling. I feel like when she comes back, she's gonna come back with a point to prove. So this time next year, I see it being Sasha Banks take over like all over again.
I think I'll like for like top three, it's definitely going to be like Sasha. I can see Julia being top three. Trying to give like an AEW answer as well. If they book her correctly, I can see Jamie Hayter making the list next year. Maybe not top 3, but I definitely think she'll be top 10. Oh, also Toni Storm. Like she's having a really good run right now. If they keep up with that as well. But I think Sasha Banks will be top 1.
Someone said, added to my point, Lamar said, I agree with Israel, especially if Sasha wrestles multiple promotions. Bro, if they let that woman go to Stardom or Ice Ribbon and just go crazy and get to like WWE, like...
if they let Sasha go to Japan, like there's gonna be no one that comes
it's a
close. I'm
no-brainer.
sorry.
Yeah. If they let her go to Japan, like that would just solidify her number one spot, just because she can actually like like get those matches, like like people can get like those good matches with her, like instead of her like giving people good matches, like people can actually give her good matches, like where it's like equal,
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Yeah, but like if we don't think, if Sasha takes longer to come back, or if she comes back and she doesn't go to Japan, I'll probably say Julia number one. But like Charlie said, I feel like top three, it's a solid like Sasha, Julia, and like maybe Tony or Jamie. Maybe like that. Maybe Jade.
Or even like Jade. Yeah, Jade. I think she's going to move up in the rankings.
Yeah, I feel like that's a solid top three.
Yeah.
It's a pretty top three, yeah.
Okay. Do we have any more thoughts? Anything else to put over?
Great. Yeah.
Any shout outs?
I just want to say shout out to everyone who watched and supported us.
Thank you so
it's
much.
Definitely, this is just like the first podcast, the first episode for the Russell Purist Diva. So please like and subscribe, share, comment, anything that helps us, like, anything helps us like build up like this platform. It's like we want to give back to you guys. Like we want to be able to do cool things, it really would mean a lot,
If you guys have like anything you want us to cover in future podcasts, let one of us know, because we're open to ideas. Like obviously women's wrestling is going to be like a big like topic for us, because obviously we are the women's of Wrestle Purists. So like if you want to see us like how we would book stuff, like even if you want us to go back and like look at old matches and stuff like that, just let us know. Like thank you for all the support.
Yes. Shout out to Monty for this platform. The reason why I even like in the beginning wanted to get involved with Wrestle Purists is because this platform is genuinely amazing, and I love everything that it stands for. I love everything that it highlights. It's just like I'm really happy that I get to be a part of it, and I'm really happy that it kind of went from like me being a part of like one little podcast, and then like Anna joined the podcast, and then like it turned into like what we have now. So this is like really exciting, and I'm so like proud that we got to do this. And we're just getting started. So
also,
I'm adamant to say, but shout out to my fan. He did bring me here. So thank you, fan.
That was the one good thing he did.
Yeah.
Sorry, Heyman. That was the best thing he's done.
All the credit you get.
You have someone, Monty is Booker of the Year. Hell yeah. Shout out to Unpurist. Yes. Our brother show. Their show is amazing and it's entertaining. We already know
fucking funny. I love those guys. It's hilarious. Like you will never have like a bad time just watching Purist. It's just really good,
Yeah.
And shout out to Russell Wave guys too.
Yeah.
And just pretty much all the other podcasts too, like Jamie, Joe, Parker, Manny, and everyone else who's like does the podcast. It's like wouldn't be Russell Purist without them either.
Yeah. Yes.
So
make sure you guys follow all of us. Monty's gonna have our usernames and everything in the bio. Just to keep in touch with what we got going on.
Yeah. And it's not going to be weekly. It's going to be every 2 weeks. So just look out. Obviously, we'll tweet out when the next one will be.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Happy
everyone.